ask your question, I'm going to tell you how much time you got. I have my stopwatch here. When you have about 15 seconds left, I'm going to stand next to you. And when you are over time, I'm standing in front of you and you have to stop grooving. It's embarrassing. Let's not go there. But I will stand in front of you. I will embarrass you. Thank you, Dan.
Man of white.
Don't be like Dan. Okay, so we're going to start with a 90-second introduction to who you are. Do you guys care which order you go in? Okay.
Alphabetical.
All right.
This is an introduction. How many hours do we have?
60 seconds.
60
Ready?
seconds.
Go.
I'm John Anderson. I'm a candidate for El Paso County Sheriff again. I recognize many of you in the group. Those of you that I don't know, I was privileged to have the opportunity to serve as your sheriff in El Paso County from 1995 to 2003. And I think it's important to give the voters and the Republican Party an option in this race. That's why I'm running. My focus is on preserving the constitutional rights, not the least of which is the concealed weapons permit program that we started. Sheriff McKee has continued, ensuring a seamless transition of leadership, and also helping other good candidates who are Republicans elected to higher offices or into their first offices. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Reed, and I'm also a candidate for El Paso County Sheriff. And here's what I offer the community: 34 years, culmination of law enforcement, fire, emergency management, and incident command. I worked for Sheriff McKee for 10 years, so I'm very familiar with his programs, and I too will defend your Second Amendment rights, carry on with the concealed income permit program, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. Thank you.
Hello everybody again, thank you very much for having us. I appreciate you all being here. I'm Bill Elder. I'm also a candidate for sheriff. I have 23 years of law enforcement experience in the community. 20 of that was with the sheriff's office. I'm now the deputy chief of police in Fountain. I also have 14 years of small business ownership. I also talk a lot about the Second Amendment rights and supporting this little document right here, the Constitution. I'm a constitutional conservative. I support victims' rights. I support the right to life. And I want to give people the option to have an experienced leader. I've experienced leadership in 3 of the largest organizations in El Paso County, and I appreciate you having us out. Thank you.
Okay, next question. Every candidate will be answering this question for us. Are you going to petition onto the ballot, or are you going to go through the assembly process? You have 30 seconds.
We have decided as our leadership team we will not petition on out of respect for the process. We think that the people who are best positioned to determine who is their candidate are the ones who will be involved, the Central Committee and the delegates and alternates. So we're committed to the assembly process and will not petition.
We will not petition on either. This is my first time at this. What a process, huh? So, bottom line is we intend to go through the assembly process. Thank you.
You're not going to need anywhere near that amount of time. We are only participating in the assembly process. We appreciate your time.
All right. Next question, I'll put it up on the screen for you. How do you feel about a regional approach to emergency management? You have 90 seconds.
I started my law enforcement career in 1972, and I can assure you we have always had a regional approach. We've had memorandums of understanding with every agency, whether we're a city or county or first responders, and other cities and counties. So that is nothing new. What we will be looking at is trying to improve those, and we think one of the ways to do that is through the MOU process, so that there's a better understanding. One of the things I've done for the last years is be involved in the Homeland Security and Homeland Defense field, retiring from one of the largest defense contractors in the United States or in the world. And one of the things we helped there was to shape FEMA management, emergency management, and the issues that the first responders need to deal with. So yes, we're very much interested in a regionalization approach. We think that's the only responsible thing to do to continue that forward momentum. Thank you.
This is a good subject for me because guess what, folks? I've done it. Through Homeland Security, I brought 5 counties and a city together, and we worked together as a region. It's called the South Central Region. So I've been fortunate to do it. It was a 10-year process. We brought several $1 million into the region. So I have experience in doing that. I will continue to do it. And what's funny about this question, which I think is a great question, is that we are working together with Manitou and Black Forest and Recovery. And that's all regional. And I have those connections with FEMA and state and the local folks. So this is a big subject for me. I think it's great. It's what protects you from the disasters that we face. And thank you for your time. Here are the shoes go.
No, I wasn't even close.
This is one of the pillars of my campaign, is cooperation and collaboration regionally to bring together all of the players. And I've built strong relationships with the heads of many of the agencies around already. We are already in discussions about how to support each other when we have regional events. We are already working together to build the foundation of how we will make a regional response to emergency situations. And we're already responding when we in Fountain get a call and we need to get up and help someone. For instance, we helped out in Monument during a train derailment. Those things are already in place.
All right, next question. I'm going to give you 75 seconds to answer. What would you like to, should you be elected, what would you like to accomplish in your first 100 days in office?
In the first 100 days in office, I want to make sure that I have met every member of the Sheriff's Office, that we have a good understanding of where we're at and where we're going. I want to make sure that I'm working closely with the current administration, that includes the Sheriff and the Undersheriff. I want to take advantage of their historical knowledge. In the 11 years that I've been out of office, the office has grown immensely. So I think I can hit the ground faster than any of the other candidates can. But it's going to take a little time to learn where we're at budgetarily, where we're at with personnel, and I think it's important for us to make sure that the strategic planning process is supported through the budget. I'll also meet with all the other county elected officials and ensure that their top priorities, whether it's Commissioner Glenn or the District Attorney, that I understand those priorities and that we're working together as a team in moving the organization forward to provide the highest level of public safety that we can for the community. One of the benefits that I have is having the benefit of 2 terms and then 10 years in the corporate world. I think I'm a better candidate than I was back in 2003 when I retired. So I want to bring in those best practices and lessons learned. Thank you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Fortunate for me, I've spent the last 10 years in the Sheriff's Office, so I'm very familiar with its operation and the personnel that are in it. Since I left, 1A has come aboard, and we've picked up probably 131, 132 additional folks. But I understand the mission of the Sheriff's Office completely, and so that's to my advantage. The other advantage is I have 3 pillars that I'm working on. That's partnership with mental health, early childhood education, and I want to make sure that those 2, we bring those forward and say, what's the best way we can regionalize that? And so those, I think the bottom line is I am familiar with the office. I am going to look at the budget, find out where all the money is going. If there's things that we can do to streamline, we'll certainly do that. I am familiar with the Board of County Commissioners, very familiar with the Board of County Commissioners. So I understand the county process. So thank you.
I'm on the table, man.
We actually have a 100-day plan ready to implement from day 1. That includes, like John said, meeting each and every employee. This 100-day plan includes a strategic look at the budget, including a forensic audit, and having clear, open transparency of everything that's gone on. We want to make sure that everything that we do is clear and open to the public. I want to make sure that as we move through the process, that we have the public involved. We have 2 or 3 different forums that we've already got set up to sit and meet with the public and find out those issues that they want to know more about. So once again, we have a 100-day plan in place.
All right, and now we're up to our last question. So far, it looks like we don't have any Democrats that have thrown their hat into the ring. If you're unopposed on the November ballot, what will you do to help other Republicans get elected? I'm going to give you 45 seconds.
We will keep our campaign intact to include our new headquarters and the volunteers that are coming together. If you haven't been to our office, stop by 219 East Bermejo. We're going to staff that 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We're also having meetings that are coming up on at noon on Saturdays. And what we'll do is we'll shift our attention from my race to the next Republican in each of those, whether it's a primary, if there's only one, if they're unopposed, we're with them now, like Wayne Williams. If there is an opposed candidate Republican coming out of the Assembly, then we'll wait till after the Assembly. But we're all going to be united together. We'll use all of our resources to help good Republicans get elected. That is our third plank.
Thank you.
So the campaign, my campaign has been working very hard, and I will tell you, we will continue to work very hard, not just for my own office, if I'm the fortunate one to get through in June, but for all the Republicans that get through in June. That's important to the Republican Party. We need to support the Republican Party, and we need to get out there and show that we're strong, and we're there, and we're someone to contend with. So, thank you.
Thanks, Becky. We will do the same thing that we did during the recall of John Morse. We put our campaign aside. We brought in almost 200 people that are part of our campaign to walk the streets, to walk precincts, and to make phone calls. We'll do the same. If we're unopposed, we will support candidates by bringing all of our 200 plus volunteers to bear on whatever campaign we need to support.